Hi everyone, I'm Ali GREYMOND. Before we start, I just wanted to let you know that the OCD Recovery Coaching Program is available through youhaveocd.com. You can find it there, you can sign up there. These are people who are specifically trained in OCD and have been through OCD. This is so important. If you haven't been through OCD, you don't understand how to recover because you've never recovered. And you can read it from a book all you want, but if you have not experienced it, like as a therapist or as a doctor, it's very difficult for them to help, rather than a person who can say, hey, I've been there, I can help you do what I did and get you better. And the program is also set up to be fairly low cost, just so everybody can afford it. Because again, in today's times, I know that the finances is a huge issue. So it is set up to be a lower cost. All the information is on youhaveocd.com. If you're interested, please sign up. Today, I wanted to talk to you about how to differentiate an OCD thought. Even though it seems like a simple thing, a lot of people have trouble with this. And generally, you know what your OCD thoughts are, what your OCD themes are. But every time a new thought comes up, it still goes back to, but what if this is not an OCD thought, right? And as somebody who's overcome OCD, I can tell you that happened to me only every single time when I was going through it. So I understand exactly what people mean when they say that. So how do you differentiate an OCD thought? OCD thought will always come with anxiety. Now let me explain to you what I mean. It will come with anxiety about the thought itself, or the thought will come as a thought, as an urge, as an image, and the person will feel like they actually want to do something bad, and then that will give them anxiety. So it's not necessarily always that the thought, the first part comes with anxiety, but somewhere along this line, whether it's about the thought, whether sometimes a person will worry that generally they'll get a new OCD thought, or anxiety about what if OCD is not going to go away, what if I'm not doing things correctly, and feeling anxious about that. Or like I said, very common that the person will say, well, I feel like I have an urge to do something. I feel like I want to do something. I don't feel anxiety. Okay, you don't feel anxiety, but you feel anxiety about not feeling anxiety, so you're still feeling anxiety. So somewhere in this chain, there is going to be anxiety. That's one. If you have any questions, I'm trying to kind of explain. So because a lot of the times people are like, well, you said OCD thoughts always come with anxiety, but I feel like I actually want the thoughts. But you get scared that you want the thoughts, and again, that's OCD. That is the anxiety. Also, OCD tends to kind of generally stick to either one or two, or sometimes the topics can actually switch, especially when you're doing recovery work, it can switch very fast. But it will attach to a certain topic. So a topic can also be generally about anxiety, worrying about new OCD thoughts coming in as well. And if you're worried about new OCD thoughts coming in, they can be literally on any topic. So, but there is usually kind of an overall theme to your OCD. So even if there's different, say if you have few different topics, usually, not always, but usually they're interconnected. So say, for example, a person was at one point worried about harm in this way, then in that way, then in some other way, right? So it's still underneath it all harm, right? So you have to recognize those things and kind of expect them to come in. And when they do come in, you're actively disregarding. So anxiety, one, same usual thoughts that you pretty much always get in one way or another. Two, if it has those two components, disregard right away. Consider it an OCD thought. Or if you're obsessing about OCD recovery generally, if you're looking up OCD recovery obsessively all day, that is again OCD developing. You don't really need to look it up that much. Yes, you need to understand how OCD works. You need to understand mechanics. But if you're just obsessively browsing, that's not going to help you. So now that you know how to identify an OCD thought, what do you have to do? You have to disregard. So thought comes in, you choose not to pay attention to it, you choose not to give in. 2 seconds later, another thought comes in, or same one over and over again. Again, you're choosing not to pay attention. You're choosing not to give in. And like this all day. And track the time. I've done videos before on tracking the time. This is what we're doing with the coaches. This is what I do in the recovery program. It is very important. And especially a lot of the times when people start tracking the time, they do good. They start to see improvement. And then as soon as they start to do good, they drop tracking the time. You have to do this all the time. And this is, again, why I created this coaching program, because you need somebody there pushing you forward every day. Otherwise, you start to fall off track. So I hope you take a look at it if you are interested. There's also sessions with me available through youhaveocd.com. You can sign up from there. You can book the appointments from there. Thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.